It all started over a year ago, living in my current small neighborhood. It was unusually hot in our house for October, and my sister figured it'd be a good idea to keep her window open for a bit of air. She was doing her homework and I was getting ready for bed when suddenly, she burst into my room. She frantically says that she heard some noises outside, sounds of leaves crunching under a person's steps. I believed it to be an animal, so I walk into her room and stay there for not more than 5 minutes, till I hear leaves crunching. We quickly glance out the window, only to hear the sound of something running away in the woods. But that wouldn't be the end of the story. During the winter, I enjoy exploring the woods towards the back of my house, climbing trees and traveling further back to the fields. I remember the events very clearly. It had just snowed that night, the first snowfall of winter, and I was more excited than ever to head out there. I did so and climbed my usual tree to look out. I gave a cursory glance around me and at the grounds when I noticed something strange. Footsteps leading away from my house. This wouldn't be weird as long as the front of the footsteps didn't end up pointing straight at my house and the origin of them came from a seemingly long off start. I tracked them down up to a point where there was a rusty wire fence covered in snow where they disappeared. October 2017. It started up again. I was laying in my bed pitch dark, not a light shining through my room when I heard it. My doorknob turning and my door creaking open. My heart stopped. Every single possibility of what it was rushing through my mind. Keep in mind, my door is always shut when I go to sleep. Since I was covered by my blanket, I quickly shot my sister a text. "Did you just come into my room?" She replied with a sharp, "No, I'm all the way in Hillard." My heart began pumping fast. I slowly stuck my hand under my pillow and grabbed my baton, sent a text to my dad, and waited. My dad came in mere minutes later with a knife, shot on the lights, and I jumped out of bed. Searched the entire house with nothing. Alarm set and all doors locked. Impossible. There's no way that happened. My dad and my mom were asleep, and a cat would have opened it much faster if it jumped to the doorknob. You best believe I didn't sleep a second that night. Fast forward to December, my relatives in town staying for a week in the basement. We turned on the alarm and all had to sleep. I stayed up gaming. In the morning around 2:30 to 3, estimated since I wasn't aware what had transpired, my uncle slowly opened his eyes with a feeling of being watched. His eyes adjusted a bit to the dark before he saw it. A guy, average height, scrawny, hair flowing in the wind and shivering looking inside their room through the window. My uncle screamed and they grabbed the baby before taking off upstairs. That morning I was informed what happened. I looked for footprints and saw only the smallest sign of a footprint, a front toe print made by what I could only assume was a sneaker. My uncle gave me more details without me telling him I looked for footprints, and he said the guy was leaning to the left looking in. The footprint matched his story. The left had a thin line of dirt anybody could have shimmied across. Now that leads to tonight, the night I could swear he or whatever it was had been in our house. I couldn't sleep. Life has been stressful lately and I was up pretty much all night until I tried getting rest. Every night I've had string Christmas lights dimly light the room until tonight. I figured the lights must have been interfering with my sleep, so I unplugged them and headed off to sleep. Pillow over my head, I started to drift off until it happened. A quick strum of my guitar and the sound of something falling over, with a desperate attempt to stop it from hitting the ground, filled the room. This sound ignited my heart rate. Saliva developing at an extreme speed made it hard not to swallow. I could feel the presence of somebody in my room. Realizing I left my baton on my desk, I did the next logical thing, pretend I was asleep. I tried and laid there for what felt like hours when in reality it was only a few minutes, until I heard a whimper come from my sister's room. Imagining this may be the day everyone in my family was silently murdered but me, I gathered all the courage I had. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and grabbed my baton. I busted into my sister's room and screamed, "Hey!" only to see that they were unharmed. My sister asked what the heck I was doing and I just stood there, looked into the pitch black of my room and cried. I have never in my life felt the overwhelming emotion of believing my family was going to be taken from me until today. I sit here in my chair writing this in hopes to document my experiences and try to come to some logical conclusion. All I can come up with is that there is some guy stalking my family and perhaps sneaking into our rooms at night. If anything else happens, I'll post it to this thread. I'm gonna try to sleep now.